I've recently inherited a motorbike, and you might think, "Ale, that's absolutely fantastic," but there's quite a problem with that. First of all, I've never ridden a motorbike. I used to have a quad, but that's quite different to a motorbike, and I certainly ain't got a motorbike license. But there's a bigger problem. This bike was sawn off the road in 1998. That's 27 years ago. In the following years from that, it was started every now and again. But it's pretty much been sat doing now for the last 20 years. Now, I've got no mechanical experience whatsoever. I've done the odd thing like change a tyre, change brake pads, starter plugs and that sort of stuff. I have done things with cars, but that's only with cars, never with a bike. So I figured the best thing I could do is learn. So follow me on this journey as I try and fix this. It's a Kawasaki EN500A. It's 1990 model. Some sources say it's a Vulcan, the others say it's an Eliminator. I'm fairly sure it's an Eliminator. Whether the Vulcan's part of the Eliminator range or not, I don't know. I don't know jack all about bikes. First thing I'm going to be doing is taking the spark plugs off, seeing if I can get it into fifth gear, rocking it back and forth to see if the engine's seized. Basically, all I'm going to be doing this journey is doing what ChatGPT tells me to, because I've always had this theory that you can do almost anything with the right tools and with the internet. So I'm going to try and test my own theory on refurbing a bike that hadn't been started for 20 years. Share some close-up looks. So first thing I'm on is taking the spark plugs out and then get a good rock. I've just been playing with the clutch, and this is how bad it is. I didn't even realise that you had to lift the clutch. I was pressing it when it's not doing it. Then when I realised you had to lift it, that's the clutch, gear shifter, that's the clutch. I didn't realise that you could lift the gear shifter. So I figured that out, and I was talking to ChatGPT about it. And all of a sudden, now it's stopped working. So we're hoping it's seized. I'm going to take spark plugs off, and then we're going to get a rock and forth, see if we can get it into the different gears through rocking it back and forth, and then see if the engine's turning while it's in gear. Wish me luck. I can't get the socket out. There we go. Story of my life. Back in a minute. You'll learn that I'm quite an impatient person. So rather than actually order 16mm, I'm going to try this one that's not actually long enough. And I'm fairly confident by doing so, I'm going to knock my socket up. Spark plug up. Well, there we go. That marks the end of a very unsuccessful day one. To be fair, I've figured out two things. First of all, the spark plugs are 11/16 or an 18mm, and that's pretty much the only size I ain't got. So, wrap that up. I've just ordered some from Amazon. I think it was 13 quid for a 5-piece socket set. I figured I may as well get the 5 set rather than just buying the one that I need, because I guarantee that one day I'll need another one anyway. So they're coming tomorrow. I'll be at work tomorrow, so it's not going to get done. Probably Friday or Monday with the next opportunity. So the plan is still get the spark plugs out, rock it back and forth, try and get it in gear. I might have a little play now getting it in and out of gear. Probably bad for the engine. I don't know, but there we go. So we're finally back on with the project. Set of sockets from Amazon, nice little case. I only needed that one because I've pretty much got every other socket bar this one. So, fingers crossed, we can carry on. To be fair, under my not so expert opinion, I think these actually look quite good. They look fairly new. Take one out, we'll have a look. And they came out quite easy compared to what I was expecting. There's a bit more grip on that one. Just tighten it back in. Here we go, that second one. That does look very similar condition. I mean, if you look in the actual inside, the actual bit where the sparks come from, it does actually look just as good. You've just got all this rust around the side. The port's absolutely filthy. So I'm thinking a wire brush and some WD-40 will get that nice and clean. But now it's the big part. I've finally got these out. Let's rock it back and forth. See if we can get him to turn on. And I'm fairly sure when I was doing it over there trying to get it into gear, it were turning on. But we'll see. I've just lost a bolt. It weren't a bolt, it was a nut. I don't know if I can hear it or if I can hear some. Sounds more like liquid that I can hear. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of turning on going on. So how do we get that off? Because someone told me this week that actually, if I remove this cap, then I should be able to turn it all by a bolt. So let's see if we can get a screwdriver and see if that's true. Ah, well, that's extremely stiff, as I imagine it's supposed to be. Now, so I ain't got a clue what I'm doing, so I'm going to try and rock it back and forth a bit more. And then it might be a case of asking the internet. But from what I heard, what I thought I heard of it turning over, doesn't sound like it's doing it. Which is a bit disappointing. It might sound almost logical to you if you know what a bike is. But I've just checked that was... So I've traced it back. This lever is definitely for the front brake, this is definitely for the clutch. But I'm not getting that chuffing. ChatGPT says, rocking about a bit, the clutch might be seized. But at this point, well, this is well awkward. I've now got about 7 minutes of video, 7 minutes of this journey that I've just completely lost because when I moved my camera, for some reason the mic stopped working. Hopefully it's working while I tell you this. But basically what I've been looking at, I basically figured out I was looking down here. What I'm going to do is actually just take this off. So what I've been looking at is I was looking down here. There's a screw hole here, look. And apparently, if you take that screw hole out, you can get to turn it manually with like a socket. I tried that, can't get in. I spent some time looking for my brakes. Turns out that's my rear brake pedal, which is great to know. That's going to be handy if you're going to try and fix a bike. And I think that's seized on. I can't, for the life of me, move the bike. I don't know why I'm recording this. What I'm going to do now is, because I think when I turn it on, I can hear like a winding noise, a bit like a quacking noise, and that's what I was trying to record when I brought the camera in close. Because I think that is the engine turning on, but I ain't got a clue. Again, I was figuring out the clutches, and I'm fairly sure if you push the pedal down, you're in neutral. Right. If that's the case, I can get it from neutral to A gear. Probably first gear, I don't know. So in neutral, I get this sound. If you listen close, it's coming from the carbs, and it does sound like a quacking or a winding sound. So I'm hoping that that sound is a good sign that the engine's not seized. It's not quite the sound I was hoping for, but the back tyre's not moving. I've figured the black tyre is absolutely solid. So I'm facing downhill, and it won't even go downhill. So we'll try to find out if that is the sound that I'm looking for. If it is a sound that I'm looking for, it's a positive noise. This will be the end of this video, and the next video will be on with taking the carbs off to clean them, which will show even further that I am in way too deep. Great news, ChatGPT's happy. I told ChatGPT I could hear a quacking type winding noise, and Chat said that's fantastic, we can hear parts moving. So Chat's now said, well, don't remove the carbs just yet. What we want to do is try rolling it about, but we need some WD-40 in the cylinders. I didn't know what cylinders were, but without even asking, ChatGPT has confirmed she wants me to put WD-40 or some other oil into where the spark plugs go and rock it about a bit to get some movement going, which I'm not going to do because I ain't got time. And ChatGPT did also confirm how wrong I am. Bottom is apparently first gear, second half click, so one half click up is neutral, which is really complicated. I don't understand why you make a gearbox like that, but I drive cars, can you not tell? But more to that is, I get one click down and like half a click up, that's all I'm getting. So, I mean, at the minute I'm not getting out because I've moved it about again. Holy shit! It must be neutral now, because look what we're getting. The bike now moves. Oh. That, to me, is progress today. We've got her into neutral. Now I know that I can do first and neutral. Christ knows where third, fourth and fifth are, because apparently it does have it. But I've got her into neutral. I can move her about a little bit. We can hear noise when in first gear, when I'm winding it, when I'm moving it. So we'll try again to put it back into first. No. She's not enjoying trying to be put back in first. No, there you go. So now it's in first. Back to being stiff. Hey, we've learnt something today. We've got first gear down bottom. Can you even see? Yeah. We've got first gear down here, clutching. It's in first. No. There we go. Second. I think that was second. So yeah, she's just a bit seized up. Yeah, if I pull it back slightly, there it is. Pull it back. And that's neutral. So put it back into first, so she don't roll away. And again, this is, I believe this is good progress, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's not moving in first gear, but she's moving in neutral. That's got to be a great sign. I'm also getting a quacking, weird winding noise when I roll it backwards in first. Something that I probably shouldn't be doing. So yeah, you know, I'm chuffed with my progress. I think we've we've really got somewhere. So it'll be in the next few days. She wants me to oil up my cylinders, WD-40 inside the spark plug holes. I can't remember what she said after that. I weren't listening, but I did confirm that she wants me to do that before I clean the carbs. So that's the end of this video. Next one should be up soon. I do live a very busy life, so if there's a phase where I don't update for a while, that'll be why. But wish me luck. I've also just figured, because I'm not going to be doing it for a while, probably best to put these back in. But I don't even know if I can. There's so much shit in there. And that might have made my life worse later on. So I probably should try and get that out first, right? I mean... Oh, this is my moments where I really want someone to tell me what to do. On the other hand, if I... leave the plugs out, it's all dry and everything, isn't it? So surely a little bit of water for 2 days is not going to make that much of a difference. But wisdom says I should put them back, so I'm going to. And these things. That's the wire for the spark plug. So I imagine that's just some form of junction box. I really need to get that bit out. Mind you, I've got a screwdriver here. Oh, bollocks. I've just got it out and then blown it back in. Actually, I can't imagine that's too much of a good idea, putting it back into that rusty port. But at the same point, I just recorded me talking again for half an hour without pressing record. So yeah, I just put spark plugs back in, and I thought, in all, I'm quite positive. I've been outside 20 minutes. We've heard noise from the engine. Got to be a good sign. And I've learned how to use a gearbox, or at least some of it. So I'm feeling positive. That's all for today. Next, we're going to lube up the cylinders, and then I think we're taking carbs off after that. I don't know. My mentor, ChatGPT, will guide us through. Till next time.